Welcome to our 23rd episode for our theory playlist at Play Piano. Today we are covering a concept known as figured bass. For years, musicians would use figured bass as a way of playing chords to accompany solo performers. For music theorists, figured bass gave them a way to analyze not only the chord progressions, but the inversions too. If you remember lesson 16 on interval inversions, inverting meant taking the bottom note and putting it above, leaving a new bottom note. This process can be done with triads and tetrachords. It can also be labeled and identified using figured bass. Triads can be inverted twice before returning to their original state. For example, a C-E-G triad, which is referred to as root position because C is on the bottom and it looks like a snowman when all the notes are stacked on top, can be inverted to E, G, and C. This is called first inversion. Now, if you do the same thing again, you get this new chord, G, C, and E. This is called second inversion. If you do it again, you're back to root position. So, figured bass essentially is the chord number in Roman numerals followed by the inversion numbers. In triads, root position is given the numbers 5, 3 to signify a fifth and a third above the bass. If you look at any root position triad, that is all it is, a bass note with a fifth and a third above it. First inversions are given the inversion numbers 6, 3 to signify a sixth and a third above the bass note. For example, if we were in the key of C and you were asked to draw a 4, 6, 3 chord, you would have to find the fourth note, so F, and draw its chord in first inversion, A, C, and F. In figured bass music, you would see a bass note A already drawn, so you would just have to fill the sixth and the third above, F and C. It is important to know that the first inversion chords are very popular, and because of this, many composers didn't feel it necessary to add the 3 and the 6. It was considered common knowledge and inferred that the third would already be above. So instead of calling it, a 5, 6, 3 chord, we would just see a 5, 6 chord. Second inversions are given the numbers 6, 4 to signify a sixth and a fourth above the bass note. For example, if we were in the key of G and you were asked to draw a 2, 6, 4 chord, you would have to find the second note, so A, and draw its chord in second inversion. Since the root position would be A, C, and E, the second inversion would be E, A, and C. If you were reading the figured bass music, you would already see the bass note E, so you would just have to fill in the sixth and the fourth, C and A. Let's try to identify the figured bass analysis for a couple of triads. Okay, we are in the key of D, and this triad spells C sharp, A, and E. The first thing we need to do is find root position. To do this, keep inverting the triad until you have a triad that just stacks lines or spaces. Now it's clear we have the 5 chord, A, C sharp, and E. Since our question had C sharp at the bottom, then it has only been inverted once. The first inversion numbers are 6, 3, so we can write this as a 5, 6, 3 chord or just a 5, 6 chord. Let's do one more. So we are in the key of B flat and we have an A, F, and D chord. First, let's invert the triad until we have the root position stack. Okay. Now it's clear we have a D, F, A chord, which is a minor 3 chord. Since in the question the A was on the bottom, we can write the figured bass as 3, 6, 4. Great work. If you're following along, you're doing amazing. You should be very proud of yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed, that's normal. To put this in perspective for you, this kind of concept is introduced to first-year undergraduates taking music, meaning that after taking music for all of high school, they are just getting into this. Give yourself some time to take a step back if you need it, and work on the materials in the theory book, or just rewatch some lessons. With consistent practice, you will get this, I promise. Okay, that's all there is to knowing your figured bass for triads. I'll see you in the next video.